Hello and welcome. In this video we are going to have a look at the 1 vs 1 played in the open beta of the new DLC that will come out in September. We have Imperial Patriot playing as the Poles, and we have Gomistan, and that being me, playing as the Danes. So yeah, it's quite interesting that suddenly it was announced that we will get the new DLC. Very exciting times, very awesome. It's very awesome as well that you can see that the UI has been changed when you are watching recorded games. Here in the top we can see all of the resources. I'm not exactly sure how exactly this works. I have 600 but I only have 400 here, so I'm a little bit confused about that. Maybe also experience? Maybe also experience. I'm not sure, but okay, let's have a look at the situation. So the Danes, how do they work? They start with a customs house, and that enables you to get coin income every time other players send shipments. As you can see, shipment tax is 100 coin, so every time an enemy sends or any other player sends any shipment, you will gain 100 coin. And you can get a bunch of upgrades and cards to increase that income and also make it give you different resources and not only coin. And of course, as you can see, a standard strategy, just send everybody on foot. At least that's my build here. You could maybe also do a different build where you immediately get an upgrade, so the shipment tax is increased to 200 coin. Because there's an upgrade that costs 100 wood and 100 coin that you can get in this building. Anyway, I didn't know what I was doing, so I went for a market. So yeah, and I kind of wasted my wood. Because you start with 200 wood, I used one to get a watch house and one to get a market. Watch house also very interesting. You can train Minutemen from this watch house, always one at a time. And you can also get an upgrade for the Minutemen to make them not lose HP and upgrade them in every age pretty much. So they will become very strong and helpful supporting units. Let's have a look at the Poles. So he just has his villagers, everybody on foot of course. We can't really see any unique buildings. We can see the explorer is a mounted explorer. And what's interesting to see as well is that I have 14 villagers at the moment, the enemy only has 11. And the reason for that is that I sent 3 villagers, as you can nicely see here now. And the opponent sent distributivism, so he gained a wood trigger instead. I'm already able to age up, while the enemy is not able to age up just yet. What's also interesting to know is that the age ups with the Danish cost less. The H2 age up only costs 640 food. Okay, let's try to think about how many resources those are. Yeah, I think it's 20%. Yeah, 20% less resources. Because normally it would be 800 food, but 20% less, so it's only 640, right? Minus 160. So yeah, you will see that's very strong. Also with the other age ups, they all become cheaper. Very helpful. Let's see what the enemy is doing now. So he's now getting a market and a full work. So he did not even get any house, it seems, but he still had 20 population in the beginning, which is kind of confusing to me. Now we can also see how much population all of the different buildings give and how many units can be garrisoned into the buildings. You can see that 50 units can get into the sea and it gives 10 population. Also, let's have a look at this interesting building here. The full work. Infinite source that supports 10 population. Infinite food source that supports 10 population and can train basic soldiers. Wow, so very strong building I would say. You get population, you can gather from it, and also very importantly you can train units from it. So it will be very interesting to see what units we'll get. Okay, very nice. You can also see here what age up the enemies doing, or like the players are doing, and what benefits they are gaining from them. And yeah, he's aging up with 500 food, so yeah, I mean that doesn't. I mean, I don't know, 500 food? Okay, maybe it's good. Depending on the situation, but I would prefer 400 wood generally. But I guess here you can also use them to then train more units directly from your military building here. Enemy now also sending 2 winged hussars. And they are able to charge more often and attack from a greater distance as well, so this is quite interesting as well. They also gain 10% more damage. He's now going for retainer, quick affordable cavalry. Okay. They cost food and wood. We will have a look at their stats soon. In contrast, I have gotten a few upgrades, I think, for my... Or I don't even think I've gotten any upgrades just yet for my customs house. I am only getting 100 tax rate. Maybe I'm now getting an upgrade? No. This is just something you can do from your church. Is that you can reveal all of the shipment points. So basically to see here, you can reveal once in a while, so quite interesting. Okay, I'm also going for these churches. They cost 150 wood, 100 coin, and they do have a little range attack to multiplier against some interesting units, infantry, mercenaries, outlaws, but not cavalry like normal buildings have. But okay, TC also does not have multiplier, I guess. And yeah, I'm just trying to get up these round churches because they give you a nice experience trickle, and you can garrison your villagers into them, so they are very nice as defense buildings. I maybe should, if I had optimized my build order more, I could have definitely done a better job. I have too many different resources and not enough. Okay, I was too slow with this, so my enemy is able to raid me here. Taking out an explorer just before I'm able to get us up. Very unfortunate. Wow. Very close. Now he's starting the siege here, but I'm just able to shoot down cavalry with my PC slowly but surely. I'm now sending 4 Gallo glasses. Yeah, these guys are heavy infantry that cost coin, but they are very strong, have splash damage, very similar to Doppelsöldners basically, but they also have a charge attack. Okay, I have now gotten up my 3rd round church. I also sent a card that increases their HP by 60% and increases their gather rate for experience by 100%. So normally they would only have 0.5 experience per second, but because I got that upgrade, they got 1 experience per second. So yeah, it's quite nice, and you can get 3 of them just without any upgrades or cards, so it's very nice to boost your experience trickle. I don't exactly know how quickly like a trading post would give you experience compared to these guys, but I'm sure other players do know that. Yeah, we can again have a quick look over here now. And have a look at the different statistics. So at the moment all the resources are pretty even. Military unit wise I am ahead, at least this is military unit population. So it says total military count, it's not true. I have 4 and they all cost 2 population, so it's 8. My enemy only has 3. So in the moment we both not really going for a lot of units. I'm also aging up now, going with the bishop. As you can see, only 960 food and 800 coin. Also now selling this card here, which gives me 300 wood, 300 coin, and all custom house shipments sent also retain 100 additional resources. So I assume that's 100 coin. At the moment, yeah, I get 300 coin, which is really nice per every shipment, because I got an upgrade here. And I believe also maybe... okay, I don't really know what else. Maybe just 1 upgrade, which increased it by 200. Okay, now you can see I got a bunch of resources. And also, which is interesting, my TC can actually gather them itself. So I don't even need to put anybody into it, like to gather them. So you can see my TC is gathering them because I got the tag here, which enables buildings to gather the crates. So yeah, next time I know I shouldn't do that. Okay, yeah, edging up, very nice for me, it's looking pretty good. At least that's what I feel like. Getting my TC, edging up, economy looks well, I'm going for a fort as well, but I don't have any units. And I don't know what my enemy is really doing at this point, to be honest. I have a little bit higher score, so I'm feeling very comfortable. What's my enemy doing? So yeah, he got a few barracks up, and he's sending 1 settler for every 2 buildings, up to a max, wow. Up to a maximum of 15. How many did he get? I think like maybe even 15 or 10, 12. Wow, that's insane actually. And interesting, you can also get a house. You can get a normal house and you can get the full work. And they do have a limit of 15, so pretty high limit. And you can also get normal barracks, normal stables. But as you can see, all of his buildings have quite a bit less HP than normally it would be the case. It's meaning that if I was to attack at the moment with my units with high siege here, I would be able to do some damage. You can see they also have very high attack. They have a charged attack with splash damage and yeah, generally high attack and multipliers against heavy cavalry or generally cavalry and shock infantry. I now have 2 TCs up. With the bishop I got that second TC. Kinda just gathering a bunch of resources at the moment. The question is, what will I do with those resources? At the moment, just getting refrigeration. So yeah, very economical play by me, very risky, greedy play you could say. And not, of course, the thing is, this is my first multiplayer game and like my second match with the Danes. Therefore, I don't really know what I'm doing, to be honest. But yeah, just going for refrigeration and now actually upgrading my Minutemen here. The veteran Snapana. So I guess I will try to use them at some point as well. Okay, so I'm just chilling basically. My enemy now. My enemy though, he's not really chilling anymore. He edged up to edge 3, got this insane shipment, which was really strong. Like a really nice build by him to get the shipment. Maybe he... Like, the question is if he used the barracks, maybe could have also went for houses instead of the barracks. They also only cost 85 wood. Do you also get wheels for every house? Yeah, it seems like every building. So yeah, I would have just spammed houses if I was him, to be honest, but I guess he's already full pop, so it kind of makes sense what he's doing, to be honest. Now, he's also getting some falconets, winged hussars, also some veteran cavalry archers. He's now getting cavalry combat as well. So while I'm focusing, okay, actually now we changed it to 12 Uhlans, the Pulaski's Legion, which costs 500 food and 500 wood. Wow, look at the military at the moment. He has 53 military population, I only have 8 military population. I'm kinda in a precarious situation. I'm just chilling my life, getting my third TC up, villagers as well as the explorer. Also now you can see how many kills units have, which is really nice. And now the enemy attack has begun. Very bad by me, they placed this important building just in front. I should have placed it in the back. Next time I'll do that, so that it will not get destroyed quickly. Now my round church is being attacked. Can the enemy even see my fort? No, he cannot see my fort. This is quite interesting. He's starting to attack market. Now sending cavalry combat. Has a bunch of winged hussars and other cavalry units as well. Meanwhile, I am sending in 5 hussars. I was thinking about sending in another fort, but I was kinda too scared that I would just lose it. So I decided to send in more units. Enemy trying to raid me with the Uhlans. And now I have begun making these Minutemen. And yeah, if you have a look at the stats, it's really impressive, I would say. They cost only 60 food, 25 coin, a little bit less than normal musketeers. They have a high attack, decent HP, even have range resistance. So yeah, also multiplier against outlaw units, against artillery, a bunch of different stuff. Anyway, let's have a look at the fight here. So the enemy kind of lost his Uhlans because he moved them through this position here, which was not a very good play, of course. He just lost them without doing anything. But yeah, now he's besieging me with his falconets. I should focus his falconets with my fort, but I'm just kinda... yeah, I'm just making a mistake right here, you could say. But I am getting my 5 hussars out. Now the fort is also attacking the falconets as they are the closest enemy. Now I have my hussars, they are veteran as well. And I'm just continuing to spam more Minutemen. Also now sending the Order of Dannebrook, which gives you Order Hospitalis, 4 of them, which are like Doppelsöldners, pretty similar to be honest. And it also gives you the ability to promote your musketeers and grenadiers when they kill enemy units, increasing their damage. So yeah, considering that I've not made any musketeers yet, it's not the best shipment, but at least I get those 4 units here. And I feel like those 4 melee units that are pretty fast, have a multiplier against cavalry, are very good against enemy who has a bunch of cavalry units. I could have instead also sent, of course, skirmishers, but that would have been very ineffective against the cavalry. Musketeers would have kinda made sense, but I didn't really plan to focus too much on musketeers, to be honest, because I just feel like these Minutemen are also really good. And I'm able to spam them from the houses without needing a barracks as well. But yeah, I mean, there's definitely an argument that I could have also made musketeers. Anyway, we now have this fight here going on. Enemy just walk into my units. Now, okay, winged hussars fighting. They have more range than my units. Than my hussars. He's trying to utilize that in this choke point. My units are not really able to attack very efficiently while all of his winged hussars here can attack. But these guys of him are being surrounded. His winged hussars are quite expensive. And I don't know, to be honest, they are just getting destroyed right here in this fight. As long as you don't fight them with like skirmishers and artillery, you should be fine. Now, while this happened, the enemy is pushing at the other side, so yeah, I don't think it was a very good idea by him to split his forces. If we have a look at military unit population, it's 76 for me and 54 for him. And all the resources, like total resources, they are pretty close, but he has 2k more. And he does have more villagers also. There we had a small pause, so that's why we have those towns right there. And my hussars charging in. I lost my TC. I have my Minutemen firing in. The hussars are able to get to the cannons. The veteran cavalry archers are not able to take out my hussars quickly enough. I have the Minutemen destroying, the hussars attacking, and also I have my heavy infantry units still there. I was able to clean the enemy up. Okay, now I was thinking about sending in 9 musketeers, but I cancelled it. I still have my 2 DCs, not really making any villagers at the moment. I have way too much wood and no food. And now finally the mill transition is beginning. And the gather rates are quite good, 0.8 food per second. It's a very good gather rate, I would say, for this stage of the game. Because I have sent in refrigeration. Also now I'm getting the seed drill, which increases the gather rates by 15% from the mill. Unfortunately, you can't see the upgrades of the villagers, the economical upgrades they have when you click on a villager, but you can see the food gather rate increased by 0.9. Hopefully at some point they will add that in as well, but yeah, I think HMS 3 has potentially a very bright future, so let's hope that all will go well. So yeah, now we can see my TC again is just gathering the crates itself, but I'm still sending villagers onto there because I didn't really notice it in the game. We have a few enemy Ulands. I was actually seeing them because I had my houses, but I still greedily went for this TC. Anyway, we now have a fight going on, so I'm pushing forward. The enemy has a bunch of winged hussars and pikemen in there as well. My artillery not very useful here, taking out a few pikemen possibly. My hussars kind of out of position there. At least these Gallo Glass are doing very well here, taking out a bunch of winged hussars, doing a bunch of damage here. Wow, they are getting a bunch of value here. So in the end, these guys got actually their value, so nice. But still, they are in the end taking out very high attack by the winged hussars. They have multiplayer versus infantry as well. And now my explorer here got destroyed by the Ulands. These guys, they also level up, I guess, when they get kills. What? They attack with 1? Okay, that's insane. They have a 1 rate of fire in melee. Normal units have 1.5. So these guys are actually really strong. The enemy is not really doing a good job, I think, generally, of utilizing them. But I've utilized them in the battles maybe more. Or not lost them the way he did. But yeah, now we will just lose them all to my Dragoons. And what just happened? Enemy revolted. Okay. And the enemy also sent the church cards to get new unique tags from the church. So I don't really know what exactly he's getting or what he got from there. He also has this building here, which is quite interesting. It generates... Okay, let's just read that. Powerful economic building that can produce resources based on settler count and improve their cover rates. Interesting. I don't know if you can also trickle different resources or if it only increases the cover rates of nearby villagers. How exactly it works. Anyway. The enemy got a bunch of Minuteman type units. And also his Winged Hussars and his Explorer. What's interesting is that he's also getting up a fort directly in my base pretty much. Very disrespectful. But maybe very smart as well. What do I have at this point? I have a few Dragoons, a few units here. But not really a lot. Getting up a fort, that could be quite important. And the enemy's besieging me here. Yeah, I'm just trying to utilize the houses to spam out a bunch of Minutemen. But it is looking very tough. It is looking very, very tough. I don't have a lot of units at this point. Let's have a look at the military unit population. Enemy has 88, I only have 25. A big difference. Enemy also has more total resources, more villagers. So at this point, it's not sure if I can survive. The thing, though, is that these Minutemen, they lose all of their HP. They only remain with 1 HP. So they are very bad generally, because they also cause 1 population. Meaning that the enemy at this point is almost pop capped, able to get a few more Winged Hussars, and now also getting a few crossbowmen, which I don't really think makes too much sense, but why not just get a little bit of everything for fun? Test everything out. Or I guess maybe against my Dragoons it kind of makes sense, so I was being a bit too harsh right here. But generally, yeah, these Winged Hussars, they are pretty good. They are charge attack, which does siege damage, and bonus against infantry, also high splash damage, and they have more range when they are attacking, so they are definitely good. But they are also very expensive, so I think they are okay. Okay, actually the cost has been reduced by something that he got, interesting. But yeah, the thing is, because he revolted, he can't really age up anymore. He can't get any more upgrades for his units, I believe. I don't exactly know how his revolt works. Okay, you can train mortars from your fort. Training posts, 10 wood, 10 cotton for each unit you have lost so far. Upgrades Doppelzelt and Hospitales to Teutonic Knights. Order Hussars and Winged Hussars are replaced by Knight Brothers. Replaces your heavy ranged infantry and rifle infantry with Order Musketeers and Order Crossbowmen. These units have increased hit points and heal automatically. And Riga Blackheads, ships 1 bank rank, proportionally replaces your light range cavalry with Black Riders. And here some buffs for Crossbowmen, better Explorer, some different units. All the Crossbowmen. Good against infantry, okay. Also benefits from promotions, but has slow rate of fire, so I don't know, to be honest, if that is so good, like that Revolt, or at least in the late game, I doubt it is very good, because yeah, he cannot upgrade his units, he's kinda H3 I believe. So this is a very rush Revolt, I would say. Like he showed to rush me, but instead he's just chilling. Which is not the best idea, so he gave me some time to get a few of my units, some Minutemen, and also some Dragoons. And Dragoons come in very handy now, because I'm able to shoot down his Winged Hussars. Which look very, very nice, of course. Okay, his winged hussars go down, and now he begins besieging me with his Minuteman army and his artillery. I'm just spamming out more and more Minutemen, while also continuing building more villagers, at least most of the time, but not right now. I'm kind of focused on this fight right here. And my units, they get more experience when they are fighting near a fort because of one fort shipment, which also gives that benefit. Let's have a look at the battles. So his units only have 1 HP, his Minutemen, they only have 1 HP, but still they are able to shoot into me and of course deal full damage, and I still need to shoot them down. I often overkill when too many units hit him, so he's still able to kill a bunch of my units. But he's also losing all of his Minutemen, which is good for him because he doesn't really want them. But he's also losing his crossbowmen and also losing his falconets quite quickly. Another thing is that I got an upgrade for my units, which gives them another 2 times multiplier against artillery. So now they have 4 times multiplier against artillery. Also some multipliers against guardians, outlaws, pets, interestingly, and siege troopers. So really nice unit. Just a very good generalist unit, I would say. Being able to be used against pretty much everything. What would counter them is counter skirmishers. But it doesn't really seem like the opponent has any of them at the moment. Yeah, I'm just surviving, and I'm actually now going H4 with the Logistician, which gives me another fort wagon. So this would be my 3rd fort in this game. You can see I'm definitely playing very defensively, utilizing my round churches and my forts, I guess. And also the Minutemen, they are very important. Do I have my unique building at the moment which taxes the enemy? I don't think so. And here you can see. Oh, actually I have it up here, okay. But yeah, my total tax income is 2,500, so I guess good. But it was destroyed at some point. So you should definitely note that you should place it in the back of your base, because it only has 1,200 HP as well. That is very weak. Very weak. It costs 100 wood, 100 coins, so it's also cheap to replace, of course, but still we don't want it to get destroyed. We want it to always be alive. Now we have enemy crown janissaries with grenades, taking out a few of my houses, my watch houses. That is pretty much fine. I kind of destroyed my fort, which I was trying to build up here, but I will get it up here again. I just destroyed it because I was scared of his janissaries. These guys, do they count as siege troopers? No, only heavy infantry, okay. Interesting, I don't even know exactly got them. Anyway, he's now getting Teutonic Knights, which basically seem to be a mix of samurai and Doppelsöldners, because they cost 100 food, 100 coin, like a samurai, but they have similar stats to a Doppelsöldner, as they have pretty good multipliers against cavalry, and they also have, I think, higher damage than Doppelsöldners would have at this point. So yeah, you can kind of imagine them as a stronger Doppelsöldner. Also, they also have some siege resistance, which helps them a little bit against artillery, but they would still likely get destroyed by artillery with a few volleys. Yeah, he's getting more Teutonic Knights. He has a very strong economy, very high resources, and he's popped. I don't really know about this unit choice, because I have not really... I mean, I had a few hussars, to be honest, so I guess maybe if I was going for more hussars, I guess maybe also against Dragoons, if they are able to connect against the Dragoons, they can be good. But at this point, I'm mostly just focusing on these Minutemen. And I've now gotten up my factories, so I'm feeling very optimistic at this point. I was very scared after I lost my units in the enemy base pretty much, and he then revolted. But he gave me some time, so now I was feeling very comfortable. Very confident, because I got my factories up, all of my churches are up, I have my tax building, and I can now begin spamming these Minutemen. And one thing I noticed when I played one match before this match against the AI is that these Minutemen, they are really good. They're just really good. A really good generalist unit. With high attack, especially. And also now they have 16 range, as they are H4 now. So yeah, my plan is to just survive with them. The enemy's now sieging my fort with the Teutonic Knights. Actually, maybe it wasn't even such a bad idea to go for these Teutonic Knights, because he can easily take out my fort. However, even though his Knight brothers, which now replace his Winged Hussars because of his shipment, they seem very strong, but they are still just being beaten by my Minutemen. These Knight brothers, they only have melee resistance, which is quite unfortunate actually. I think the Winged Hussars would have been better with their range resistance at this point. Yeah, even my little round church is shooting right here, only doing 20 damage, but it's still something. Bam, nice, even got the kill right there, I believe. I'm able to survive, feeling very comfortable. I have gotten up a bunch of mills as well. Mills, plantations, everything you would want. And nice, you can also see all of the important information right here. I have 76 villagers, 53 military units. Okay, interesting. This actually is the military unit count, and this is the military unit population. Okay, even though it says military count is population, this is military count. So I have 52 units, he has 42 units, but he has a 72 population of military units, where I only have 55. So he's an advantage militarily, at least population-wise speaking, and like the investment he made. The question is if his units can actually beat my units in a fight. Because I don't think his Teutonic Knights would be very effective against my infantry-based army, nor will his Black Riders be very effective. White Black Riders are very good against heavy cavalry, they are decent against heavy infantry as well, I guess, but problem is that my units, they are kinda similar to heavy infantry, because they don't have any multipliers against heavy infantry, but they just have high damage. They are just too many for the enemy to counter with his Black Riders, or take out with his Black Riders. And also they have 15% range resistance. They do actually count as a skirmisher unit, right? Infantry, I guess, like infantry, light infantry, so yeah, I would say they count as a skirmisher unit pretty much. Now the enemy's being very annoying. He got a mortar from his fort and is just besieging me. I am very much besieged on all sides, with one fort here, one fort here. He's now being annoying with some pikemen. But okay, they are not really doing anything, not really achieving anything. I have gotten an upgrade which increases their damage against buildings. Okay, my bad, here's the damage against buildings. Yeah, so now they do... I hope at least that is... because it said it would increase the damage against buildings. So I hope they are doing 30 damage, but... I don't know, it doesn't seem very high. No, they're only doing 10 damage at the moment. Maybe this is a bug. Okay, interesting. Okay, anyway, the enemy, yeah, is trying to take me out with these mortars, but damn, how quickly got this mortars destroyed. Maybe the attack damage stacks with the siege damage 2 times and then 4 times against artillery. I think that might stack against mortars, which would lead to actually insane amounts of damage against mortars. Okay, the enemy pikemen now bravely moving forward, ignoring my units. I'm kinda scared of his pikemen doing stuff, so I'm trying to take them out. The enemy, what is he doing? Getting pikemen, getting now some Piatures. We have not seen these guys. Versatile riflemen, good against all infantry. Okay, now my petards. What is this? Just my petards. We're about to get to this fort. His goddamn crown grenadiers arrive and just absolutely destroy all of my petards. So very bad moment for me right here. I would have gotten this fort with those petards. What am I doing? Just continuing to spam more units, and what does this do? This increases the tax rate of my tax building by 700, so I get 700 more resources for every shipment enemy does, so this should turn to 1000, so very strong shipment. But the problem is I'm just getting destroyed at this point. I'm just getting absolutely destroyed. Now he's training mortars as well. Besieging me with this giant grenadiers or crown grenadiers. And I'm just struggling. At this point I'm kinda feeling like I lost, to be honest. But I still continue playing, just spamming up my units. I know I have a bunch of resources. So I just need to spam more units out. The mortars being very annoying now, just absolutely destroying all of my buildings right here. But my Minutemen numbers, they are increasing again, also just getting a few skirmishers, just anything I can get. They're not even upgraded, I don't care. But what is actually really important is getting hussars, which I'm now getting. Hussars, they are very tanky and the enemy doesn't really have a lot of counter units or even any counter units. He has a few black riders in the back. But yeah, these hussars will be very important right here. So now, what can I do with them? I'm trying to get the mortars. Okay, one down, very nice. My infantry is still holding the line, while the cavalry is destroying his mortars. My economy is really strong. Let's have a look at the villager numbers again. I now have 96, enemy has 71. So if the enemy cannot win this right here, he is doomed, to be honest. And my resources are still there. I'm still able to spam out units. It is very tough to spam out the Minutemen with just being able to get one per house. But I'm still continuing to do it. And let's have a look. How quickly do these guys die? Oh, just that in a second. I have to have a look if they counter siege units. If yes, then they get absolutely destroyed. And let's have a look at these guys. So these guys are veteran. They have 19 attack, 18 range, bonus against heavy infantry, against skirmishers, against light cavalry, ranged cavalry, light range cavalry, ranged shock infantry. But they have a malus against cavalry, like heavy cavalry, and against shock infantry, like melee shock infantry. Okay, these guys, they only count as artillery, not as siege units. Okay, so they just get the bonus against artillery. And now look at this, I have white elephants. I sent a card. Here, order of the elephant, which gives me elephants and enables my cavalry to get rank ups when they get kills. What do the rank ups actually do? Let's quickly look. Increase the hit points when my cavalry units destroy enemy units. Interesting. Okay, my elephants bravely now charging into the Black Riders. Not the best thing, but I just need him to tank a bit. Minutemen doing a bunch of damage. And I'm able to push the enemy back. I was able to survive, and I mean, enemy also has a bunch of resources, always pop capped. But my units are a lot more efficient, they are a lot stronger with their pop. They only cost 1 population with their 39 damage. Absolutely destroying these sniper robbers. What do these guys even cost? They cost 100, 120. Okay, so they are pretty reasonable with their price, pretty good. But they cost 3 population, which is a problem for the enemy. He's struggling with population. All of these Black Riders, they are strong, but they cost 3 population. Not very pop efficient. So the enemy's just not able to really use all of his resources that he has. Very slow unit production, it feels like as well. I'm just continuing to always spam, always building Minutemen. Not from all of the house at the moment, so a little bit of a mistake by me, but still just trying to spam out as many Minutemen as I can. Enemy sending in pikes in cover mode. Yeah, they are doing a little bit, but in the end they will just get shot down. And I'm struggling to take out this fort, but I don't care at this point. It does some damage, okay. But in the end, I don't care, to be honest. I just spam and spam. I have 20% siege resistance as well, so they take less damage from the fort. Just continuing to spam, and I'm slowly but surely pushing enemy back. And now, the petards, they are back. Will they be able to achieve what has never been achieved before? Boom, bam. Let's go. Okay, the fort has been destroyed as well. Finally. enemy flag falls. And we are able to push back. I just have the economy advantage at this point. Look at my resources. I am full pop pretty much and still have a bunch of resources left. My units are really strong. I have these white order elephants looking really nice. Like, I don't know if that's very accurate, like white elephants. But they do look very nice and awesome. Also, my cavalry does look very awesome as well. I love them. Love their looks. Okay, let's have a look at what the enemy's doing. Enemy's kind of in a problematic situation. He has economy here. Here. He's besieging me, being annoying. But I'm taking him out. Let's see with my horse guards. Taking out a few villas here. Moving through some units. Where are the enemy units? There are no enemy units. Look at this. 124 population. And now it's beginning to show that his economy is weaker. His resources are, at least his coin is very low, considering he has no population. He only has 60 villagers still. He's now beginning to make some more villagers. Let's compare the gather rates quickly. He has 75 per second, 0.75, 0.57 here, as he's continuously being raided. I have 1.17 and 0.98, so a lot better gather rates because I am H4 and I am getting the H4 upgrades as well as home city upgrades. He is kinda able to push me back in the middle, but now more of my units have arrived here. And I am raiding him. I have killed a bunch of vills here, attacking this town center here, but my guys, they only do 10 damage because for some reason this does not work. I think it was supposed to give them more damage against buildings. But honestly, these guys are so strong anyway, I don't even know if they should be that strong. So yeah, definitely some questions in the balancing of these new civilizations. I hope they will not be absolutely OP, because that is very unfortunate then for players who don't own the DLC, and generally other civilizations will be not very fun to use against these civilizations if they are OP. But anyway, let's just focus on the gameplay for now. So this guy, he has a mace now, very nice. It's a high master. Interesting. I think he got this high master because he did the revolution with Livonians. But I have kind of destroyed his economy up here. I'm pushing now. He should be able to defend himself for now. He has a bunch of cavalry units. He still has a good amount of economy, at least to defend himself for now. He has a fortified wagon. Light artillery wagon that absorbs damage from nearby units. Good against artillery and infantry. Has 60 damage. 2 splash attack. 2 infantry. 2 times against infantry. 2 times against artillery. Wow, 26 range. Okay. And 75% range resistance and 30% melee resistance. So basically, it's kinda an all-around artillery piece, I would say. Being effective against artillery, infantry, but not too effective, low damage. So I don't think it's too problematic, too strong, anything. Now I'm taking revenge, destroying the enemy economy. The enemy trying to attack me with pikemen here. But I was able to defend that as well. The enemy resigns. I have hit H5 as well. I have gotten the Imperial upgrades as well for these guys. Look at this. That's 52 attack, 18 range, 335 HP. Their resistance as well, their bonuses as well, their boni. And also, you can get the Arsenal upgrade for them, which gives them 2 times damage against heavy infantry as well. So they are absolutely insane. Really, really strong. And I assume they will get some kind of a nerf. But still, it was a very close game, of course. The Pole is very strong as well. The enemy, he kinda had this game, to be honest. But he didn't push enough as soon as he revolted. He gave me too much time. And I was able to survive and in the late game just scale with my economy playstyle and with my late game units. I generally feel like, yeah, the Danes, they are very defensive and late game orientated, while the Poles, I don't know too much about them, but considering they have a very quick cavalry attack potentially, also with these buildings they can quickly make units as soon as they hit H2. And also considering the fact that their buildings have less HP and are cheaper, they should be a very good rush civilization. And I think the enemy showed that they can definitely quickly get out some units to raid you and attack you and be very aggressive. But in the end, he just didn't use his opportunity effectively enough. Okay, we can quickly have a look at the resource and the units. So in the end I gathered more resources. I spent a little bit less on units even, because I just was able to use my units very effectively in the defense. I was very close with the unit count and the kill counts, but I was a little bit on top. He of course raised a lot more buildings. And let's have a quick look at the timeline. So let's have a look at the villager count. You can see I was ahead in the beginning. Then he sent that insane card, and even before it he was ahead. But then he sent that insane card and he got 13 villagers. So very strong. And then he was ahead all of the time, but in the end I continued making villagers. I would start raiding him in the end. And then I got ahead, got to the max while he was on a very low amount. Okay, not very low amount, 71. Let's have a look at the military unit population. You can see he was ahead most of the time. Here I had a small moment where I was ahead with the unit shipment. But after that he was ahead all of the time pretty much. He was ahead in a very big manner. Was still able to survive. I think that's when he revolted. When he got... yeah, here he revolted. Okay. Well, he lost so much shield, all of this Minutemen. Then he made another strong army, attacked. And in the end, he just was not able to break through. Okay. Now let's quickly have a look at all resources gathered. This is the most satisfying thing to watch, I think. So yeah, a little bit of an advantage in the beginning, but considering he raided me so much, harassed me, and forced me to idle, he got ahead. But in the end, as I was able to stabilize again, I got ahead by a big manner. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this video. I plan to make a few more videos on this DLC and on HMS3, the Definitive Edition, of course. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed, and until next time.